Contrary to popular belief, it's actually not the confident people that are the most selfish and the most full of themselves. It's actually the insecure ones. And action. Thank you so much for reporting to duty for the Pretty Princess Command Center, episode 44, where we are going to get rid of our insecurities and learn how to become a more confident version of ourselves, because that's what the girl of our dreams would do. So why would we do anything other than that? In today's episode, we're going to discuss how being insecure and allowing your insecurities to run your life can actually cause you to become a very hurtful and selfish person. We're going to go over some practical mindset shifts and daily practices that you could start implementing so that you can actually become a more confident person and not allow these insecurities to overrun your life. And then lastly, as always, we're going to create our Pretty Princess playbook. If you want to become an official Pretty Princess and join the Command Center, all you have to do is subscribe. So without further ado, let's move into phase one. First and foremost, before we can go over solutions, we need to first understand the problem. So welcome to phase one. One of the most common myths about confident people is that they're arrogant, they're cocky, they're selfish, they're full of themselves, they think they're better than everyone else, when in reality, that could not be further from the truth. And if anything, those traits more so apply to people who are deeply insecure. Those traits are used as shields and armors and masks by insecure people, so that way nobody can hurt them. Because if they can wear all of these traits as an armor, nobody can use their own insecurities against them, because they're protected from whatever it is people could possibly say about them and think about them, because they already say it and think it about themselves. Confidence has been sold to the general public as something that only certain people can possess, when in reality it's literally just a skill. It's just a skill that you can learn, you can refine, and you can practice. If confidence can be taught and learned and practiced, so can insecurities. The only reason we have our insecurities is because they were taught to us, or they were thrust upon us, or we internalized them because of societal norms, because of our peers, because of something our parents said, because of something our teacher said, because maybe you watched a movie when you were younger and somebody in that movie said something about a person that has something that you possess, whether it's a material or your body type or anything, and you internalized that and took offense to it and decided it was going to be an insecurity for yourself. There has been a situation in your life where you heard that something you do, something you have, or the way you look is not good enough, and that's what caused you to have this insecurity. So you've been practicing this through repetition, through affirming, I'm insecure about this, this is an insecurity, this is something I should be insecure about, and that's why you have it. Because you've been constantly reaffirming to your mind that this is the way it is and there must not be any other way. Insecurities are just learned behaviors, and every single person, no matter how confident the person is, every single person on this planet has insecurities of some form or another. But there's a major difference between an insecure person and a person that simply has insecurities. They are two completely different sides of the spectrum. But how exciting is that? Because that means that insecurities are something that you learned. You learned them because that's what you were taught. Guess what? You have the ability to learn something else. That means that you don't have to be a victim to your insecurities for the rest of your life. Because why would you choose to do that? You don't have to do that. You're just used to doing it, and that's why you continue to do it. If you learn how to have your insecurities, you can unlearn how to have them. You can learn to turn them into things you're confident about, or at the very least, you can learn to turn them into things that you can just accept and make peace with and not worry about all the time. The biggest problem with insecurities and being an insecure person is the fact that you tend to project those insecurities onto other people around you, even if you don't realize you're doing it, even if it's not an intentional thing, you just typically do it. So a really big insecurity that a lot of women have is the size of their breasts, right? Typically, just because of society, women with smaller breasts tend to feel like they're not good enough, they're not adequate enough. That's why you see so many women getting boob jobs, doing whatever, or just wishing they had bigger breasts, right? That's just something that is what it is in our society. Let's say you're an insecure person, you're insecure about the size of your boobs, okay? You're gonna see a woman with bigger boobs, whether naturally or unnaturally bigger boobs, and you're gonna look at her and say like, oh, she's doing that for male attention. Like, oh, she's just dressing to get attention. She's doing that for attention. Oh my gosh, like, she looks so bad. Like, I can't believe I would never do that. Even if you don't outwardly say these things to her or express your opinions on that to her, you're reaffirming to your mind that because of your insecurity, anybody who's not living in accordance to your insecurity must be less than. And that's because you don't feel good enough in yourself. So you need to figure out a way to make the people who have what you want to have, you need to figure out a way to make them below you so that it makes you feel a little bit better about yourself. Now, a confident person who has an insecurity about having smaller boobs, they would look at that girl and say, oh my gosh, she looks so good. Like, I wish I had a pair of boobs like that. to just wear a top like that and look that good. Another example we'll go with is maybe you're insecure about the amount of money you make and you just don't make as much money as some of your peers, or you just wish that you made more money. An insecure person is going to cling to that struggle mentality, is going to cling to whatever reason they can hold on to justify their situation and their perception of the world, right? So let's say that the person who's insecure about the amount of money they make, they see somebody going on vacation and instantly in their mind, whether they keep it to themselves or they say it to the person, wow, it must be so nice to not have to worry about money all the time. It must be so nice to just go on vacation whenever you want. Or they might try to make that person feel bad about their position by saying, there's people who literally can't afford to eat and you're just wasting money going on vacation. Just anything that can kind of bring that person down and bring them down back to the reality of where this insecure person lives. When you're insecure, you will do anything in your power to justify why the position that you're in deserves more attention than the position someone else is in. You will do anything you can to justify why you have to be where you are. You have to feel the insecurity that you feel. Anything to validate yourself and make it known that, well, you know, I don't even want that amount of money because like this and this. You're lying to yourself. You're looking at other people have the thing that you want and you're feeling like that's just not possible for me, so I'm gonna make it bad for them. Whereas a confident person who's insecure about the amount of money they make would see somebody posting that they're going on vacation or doing this or not having to worry about money, and they would say, wow, I can't wait to get to where they are. I can't wait to not have to feel this insecurity about the amount of money I make. I can't wait to have the ability to help the people that I want to help in the world once I have the amount of money that I need to do that. The thing with this is that insecure people will do this and behave this way towards anybody, whether it's a stranger or whether it's their best friend on the whole entire planet. They will unintentionally hurt people and try to bring people down to where they are just so they can feel a little bit better about being where they are. And that's why it's so important that you figure out how to deal with your own insecurities and how to overcome them so that you're not unintentionally hurting the people around you. Only reason you're acting that way is because you want to feel better about yourself. So, and the only way you can do that when you're feeling insecure is you just have to demonize the people that have the things that you want to have. And that's the terrible thing, is because it's almost never ever intentional, especially when it's the people you love. It's never an intention. You don't go out of your way to say, I want to hurt this person. It's just an autopilot mindset that you're stuck in because that's what you've been repeating to yourself and affirming to yourself. We don't need to do that anymore. The main difference between an insecure person and a confident person with insecurities is that the insecure person is always going to try to take from other people. They're always going to try to take what they don't have away from the people that have it, because a confident person who has insecurities is never going to try to bring anybody down. They're never going to see somebody have something that they wish they had and feel, I need to ruin it for them because I can't have it, so I'm going to ruin it for them. They're just going to see it and say, how do I get there? Confident people are driven to create. Insecure people are driven to dwell. And please remember, most people actually are confident people that are just riddled with insecurities. And that's why you're able to have all these insecurities in yourself, but you still feel happiness for other people's achievements. You still feel happy when you see other people achieving their goals and their dreams. You might not be in a good relationship, but you still feel happy when you see your best friend get into a good relationship. But because you're taught to believe that confidence is selfish and confidence is something that makes you arrogant and confidence is something that is a waste of time and just rude and cocky, you choose to identify as an insecure person so that you can fit into the norm. Because when you're an insecure person, you're humble. It's good to be humble. People say, oh, they're so humble. They're so sweet. They're so selfless. They're so humble. Confident people are 99% of the time the most humble people you will ever meet. And if you meet a confident person that is not humble, they're not confident. They are insecure, wearing the mask of arrogance, wearing the mask of selfishness, and that's where the lines get blurred, okay? So we are no longer going to identify as an insecure person, okay? We don't need to do that. Life is way too damn short to be walking around, playing it small, feeling bad about yourself all the time, because I'm sorry, we get one life. We get one fucking life. We all have to play this game of life. Why not enjoy it to the best of your abilities? Why not make the most out of it? Life is too short to not be the happiest, most confident version of yourself. The more confident you are, the happier you are. The happier you are, the nicer and kinder you are to everyone around you. That means you're literally going around this world, spreading love and light into the world, spreading good energy into the world, and then it's just a domino effect. It's simply just a domino effect. So you're literally helping to make the world a better place by choosing to let go of your insecurities and become a confident person. So as we just discussed in phase 1, confidence is a skill to learn and refine. So get out a notebook, sit down, because that's exactly what we're going to do here in phase 2. So first we're going to go over some mindset shifts, and all of my seasoned pretty princesses know. You could say it with me now. The first mindset shift that we are going to implement is literally with every situation we are presented with in life. Every time we have the opportunity to make a choice, which life is literally just a collection of choices, all we're going to do is we're going to say, what would the girl in my dreams do? What would the girl in my dreams do right now? This is why it's so important to know who you want to become, to know the values you have, to know who you are, to know the life that you're trying to build for yourself, so that when you do ask yourself that question, you immediately know the answer. When you focus all of your own mental time and energy on becoming the girl of your dreams, you no longer are in competition with anybody else. You no longer see anybody else as a competition, because you are so invested in yourself that all you want to do is make the best choice you can possibly make. Become the best version of you can possibly be, so that you can feel happy and fulfilled within yourself, so therefore you're able to fill other people's cups with love and light. Becoming the girl of your dreams literally takes place in any little decision we make every single day. So if you're feeling insecure about something and you see somebody have something that you want to have, and your first instinct is to fuck them, like they don't deserve it, they're so privileged and like they don't deserve to have, what would the girl in my dreams do? The girl in my dreams isn't thinking like that, because the girl in my dreams has the things I want to have, so she wouldn't be jealous of people who have it. So I'm going to embody that. And I'm just going to decide, good for them. Can't wait till it's my turn. It doesn't have to be a big ordeal. This could be in the way she dresses. You look at people who dress themselves up and put themselves together for the day, and your first instinct is, who do they think they are? Like, who are they trying to impress? No. If you're that busy thinking that about other people, what other people are doing, that triggers you. There's something about what other people are doing that upsets you inside, because it's something that you're casting judgment on towards others, which means that that's something you're casting judgment on towards yourself. And it's a lot easier to put your judgments on other people than it is to look inward and say, I'm actually just thinking that about them because I'm kind of jealous that I don't have the confidence to do it. So instead of thinking these thoughts and deciding I'm gonna run with them, you're gonna think these thoughts and you're gonna take a step back. What would the girl in my dreams do right now? The girl in my dreams would look at this person who's dressed to the nines, and she would think, hell yeah, outfit inspo for tomorrow. Start dressing the way that the girl of your dreams would dress. Start waking up when she would wake up. Start doing the routines she would do. Start acting like her, and you will become her. Because the only way to become the girl of your dreams is to act like the girl of your dreams. Once you start doing the things that she's doing every day, guess who you are? You're her. Confidence is built through repetition and reputation. And the things you repeat are the things that build your reputation. So if you're constantly repeating jealous thoughts, jealous behavior, insecure thoughts, insecure behavior, that's the reputation you're giving yourself. That's the reputation you're reaffirming to yourself. Start repeating new habits, start repeating new mindsets, start repeating new actions. You will have a new reputation, not only for your own self-concept, but outwardly. Other people will start to notice this as well. You become a more confident version of yourself. Do you know how many people you can inspire? Do you know how many people you can motivate? Do you know how many people you can impact just by deciding, hey, I'm not really liking the way my life is going. I'm not really liking the way that I'm behaving. I'm not really liking feeling like I'm not good enough. I'm gonna change it and I'm gonna be better. So if you cannot get yourself to do this for you, do it because there's other people. Do it for your 5-year-old self. Do it for the girl that's been insecure about XYZ in her life since she was 4 years old. The second mindset is, if you are currently operating in the I can't have that, it's not realistic, we're getting out of that mindset, because that mindset is literally equivalent of you go to the store, you buy a cage, you bring the cage home, you crawl in it, you lock it, you throw away the key, and then you get mad at everyone else who isn't in that cage, even though you literally fucking did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. Because you decided to continue to identify with these insecurities that maybe you didn't give yourself the insecurities, and you probably didn't. You probably didn't give yourself your own insecurities. But you decided, somebody told me I should be insecure about this, so I must just believe them. I think I just have to believe them. No, you don't. And it is not fair to anyone else in your life that you take that out on everyone else when you're the one who put yourself in the cage and you locked it and threw away the key. So instead of having that mindset that keeps us locked in that cage, we're gonna have the mindset of, I can and I will have literally whatever I want. Your whole reality takes place in your mind. So if you put yourself in that cage in your mind, that's the reality you're gonna have. If you put yourself in this expansive cage that doesn't have a lock, doesn't have walls, that says I can and I will have everything I want, that's what your reality is going to start looking like. Repetition rewires the neural pathways in your brain. If you don't want to believe this because you're, oh, well, this is stupid, it's science. So if you want to fight science on that, be my guest. And then the last mindset shift to start adopting is just every time you see something that you want out of life, whether it's the way somebody looks, whether it's something somebody else has, whether it's a lifestyle, whether it's a job, anything that you want out of life, every time you see it, you're going to adopt the mindset of every time I see what I want in life, that's just reassurance that I am closer and closer to having it. If it's that close in proximity to you, that means that it's very attainable for you. Once you believe it, that's when you're going to start seeing it. I do this literally every single time. I live in a small town, okay? I don't live in a big city with all these big fancy cars going around left and right, okay? I live in a small little beach town. Every time I see the car of my dreams pass me on the road, I literally say, thank you, God. Thank you, God. I truly believe the more and more I see that car, it's just reaffirming it's already in my reality. It's not mine. It's not my car. I don't own the car. It's already existing in my reality. So there's no reason why I cannot have my own. That was the last mindset shift. So now let's move on to the practical steps that we could start implementing every day to kind of make these mindset shifts actually feel easier and just to really ramp up these mindset shifts, because like I said, repetition rewires. Repetition creates your reputation. The more you repeat something, the more you believe it to be your reputation. So first daily practice you can do, make a vision board. And I know this is a very common practice. It will do wonders. It will do wonders. But the biggest part about making a vision board is you actually have to look at the vision board. You have to look at the vision board. You have to look at this lifestyle that you've put on this board. You have to look at it because your subconscious mind doesn't understand that you're just looking at pictures. Your conscious mind will look at these pictures and say, great, I'm just looking at pictures of all the things that I don't have right now. Your subconscious mind doesn't know that. Your subconscious mind just says, cool, vacation, cool, money, cool, a relationship. Your mind is split into two parts. You have your conscious brain that's responsible for your active everyday decision making, your rational thought processes, and you have your subconscious mind, which controls your automatic process, like breathing. You don't have to think about breathing, you just breathe. So think of your conscious mind as when you get into your car, you put the key in the ignition, you put your foot on the brake, you put it into gear, and you start going. That's your conscious mind. Your subconscious mind is the gas tank. It's the engine. It's how the gear shifties shift before, you know what I'm saying? The car, without you getting into the car and making it go, the car is just sitting there. The car is ready to do what it's made to do. That's your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is always sitting here waiting to be told what to do, what to think, how to act. The car's waiting for you to get in it, put it in a gear. But those gears are already there waiting for you. So when you put a picture on your vision board of somebody holding up a key to their new apartment, your conscious mind knows, yes, this is not my apartment. This is a picture that I found on Pinterest and it's on a vision board. You can rationalize that. Your subconscious mind doesn't know that. And that's why it's so important to actually look at these pictures, because the more you see them, the closer in proximity to them you are. And that's why it's important to, when you're listening to music, if you're constantly listening to sad, depressing music, what do you think you're gonna feel? If you're constantly listening to scary horror stories and you're never listening to anything uplifting, anything inspirational, anything motivational, you're gonna be scared all the time. You're gonna be paranoid. That's what your brain is scanning for, because that's how you've primed it. Practice number 2 is scripting. Scripting will change your life so quick. And I can say this because every time I sit down and I script, everything I write down comes true within a matter of days or weeks or months. And I'm like, I'm sorry. What? That was just me, my journal from Walmart, and a pen. And we made this whole page come true. Scripting is just a journaling technique, and it's where you write everything as if it's already happened. So the way that I like to do this every day to make it feel a little less silly and a little easier to believe is before I start my journaling process, I'm just pretending I switch into, okay, I'm acting as the girl in my dreams right now, and I'm writing a diary entry for what she did today, what her day looked like. And that makes it a lot easier because you're writing as if you're a character, right? You're like, okay, well, I'm not writing as me. I'm not talking about what I did today. I'm talking about what the girl in my dreams did today. So what does her ideal Tuesday look like? What is her ideal? What did she do today? What happened in her life? And you could do this in a way that's either the most ideal version of how your day could go. You could make that what her day looks like, or you could do it when your 5-year plan has been enacted and she lives here and she does this and she has this amount of money and she drives this car and she's in this relationship and she does this for a living. You could do whatever you want. Just get in the mindset of writing as if you're the person that you wish you were and that you're living the life that you are striving to start living. And then the last practice is probably the easiest in theory, but actually might feel the hardest for some people. Just uplift one person every single day. Whether you're out in the real world and you see somebody wearing an outfit that you like and you tell them, hey, you look really good in that outfit. Hey, I love your outfit. Hey, you smell so good. Oh, do you need help with that? You help somebody in the store. You offer to bring someone's shopping cart back because you're already on the way there. Do something that's gonna uplift someone else. If you're not out and about in the real world on social media, just leave a nice comment on someone's post. It doesn't have to be some crazy praise, just something to uplift them, just something you would appreciate hearing. Uplifting others literally fills your cup. You literally are not only filling your own cup, but you're filling everybody else's cup with love and light and kindness. So why would you not do it? We have the mindset shifts, we have the daily practices, so it is officially time to create the Pretty Princess Playbook, and this is where we're gonna make the blueprint that is specifically tailored for you to help you overcome your insecurities, to become a more confident, happier, better version of yourself so that you can start living like the girl of your dreams. So sit down, listen up. Welcome to phase 3. First thing we're gonna do, create a list of all your insecurities. I know, it sounds like hell on earth. It sounds terrible to list out literally everything you're insecure about. It feels very vulnerable, it feels very scary. Guess what? Nobody's reading these. List everything out. Everything that you're insecure about, everything that makes you feel less than, list that out on a piece of paper, on your notebook, on your laptop, on your phone, whatever it is. List them all out. We cannot fix what we're not aware of. So we need to make ourselves very aware of what we actually are insecure about and what we actually feel about ourselves. After you do that, step number 2 is going to be explaining where, when, what, how you obtained these insecurities. So for each insecurity you've written down, try to think back to the first time that you started feeling insecure about it. What was the situation that caused you to? When did it happen? Who said something to you? What did you see that caused you to start believing, oh, I should be insecure about that? Understanding where, how, and why we learn to have this insecurity is going to help us unpack it and unlearn it. Step number 3 is explain what you would like to have in place of the insecurity. And now I know that sounds very obvious. It's like, well, obviously I would like to have the thing that would make me not insecure. Obviously. But we've addressed the problem. We've addressed, okay, this is what I'm insecure about. This is why I'm insecure about it. Let's make the solution. Not all insecurities are something that need to be quote unquote fixed. A lot of times they're just things that need to be accepted. And sometimes they could be something that can be accepted, but that doesn't mean you don't want to improve upon them. Step number 4, if your 5-year-old self came up to you and showed you this list or told you this list of insecurities, what would you do and say to her? If she came up to you and she said, I really hate how I look. I really hate what I see in the mirror. I'm really embarrassed of where I live. I'm really embarrassed of all of these things. What would you do? Like, you would instantly be like, no, like, you are amazing. You are so loved. You are so lucky. You're so blessed. You would teach her to be grateful for what she has. You would teach her to love what she has. You would teach her to love who she is despite the things that she doesn't quite feel are quote unquote normal or make her fit into the whatever. You would want her to feel good. You wouldn't want her to keep walking around feeling so sad and weighed down by all these insecurities. So what would you do? What would you say? What would you tell her? If you can be that kind to her, you can be that kind to yourself. Step number 5, we're going to turn all these insecurities into affirmations or gratitude. As we've discussed, mindset is literally everything. Mindset is everything. You live your whole life through your autopilot lens. You put on the glasses of the autopilot in which you live your life. So for each insecurity you've written down, turn it into something to be grateful for or into a mindset shift, into a new perspective. Put a new set of lenses on. So let's say you're currently insecure about the car you drive. You're gonna turn that insecurity into an affirmation of, I will have the car of my dreams by 2029. That's what you're gonna start repeating. Instead of every time you think, oh, like I'm so insecure about my car. Yeah, this is the car I drive right now, but by 2029, I'm gonna have the car of my dreams, so not that worried. If you can debunk your own insecurities, you don't have to keep using them as shields. If you can't quite figure out how to make it an affirmation, you can turn it into something to be grateful about. Because you know what? I might be embarrassed of my car, but at least I have a car. At least I have something that could take me from point A to point B. At least I can have something that could take me to work so that I can save money, so that eventually I can have the car of my dreams, so that eventually I can get out of the situation that I'm in. So when we say that insecurities make you selfish, it's because you completely lose sight of all the things in life that you're blessed to have, that you're lucky to have, that you should be grateful to have. Because you're so worried about, oh, fucking hate this isn't good enough, this isn't good enough, I'm not good enough. Stop. You're literally fucking yourself over. And then lastly, as always, become the girl of your dreams. Start acting the way she would act. The girl of your dreams wouldn't look in the mirror every morning and say, oh, fucking can't stand the way I look, I hate this, I hate that, I hate this. The girl of your dreams would go to the mirror every single morning and say, I am so lucky to be me. I am so lucky to be me. I am so uniquely beautiful. I am so uniquely myself. I'm so proud to be who I am. Start doing the things she would do. Stop acting in accordance with how you currently act if it's not making you happy and it's not fulfilling you. Start acting the way that the girl of your dreams would act. So, with that being said, we have officially concluded episode 44 of the Pretty Princess Command Center. And don't forget, if you have a diary entry that you'd like to submit into the Princess Diary, you can always do so in the description below. And on that note, I hope you have a pretty princess day.